Hi everyone. Welcome to my first Sunday night live, I want to say. I'm so happy to be here with my friend Shawn, aka Queen of DC. We are going to tell you how we met and all of that, but what I will say before I let her introduce herself is she's a fellow YouTuber, fellow solo world traveler that I met, and you'll wait and hear after that. But Shawn, if you want to introduce yourself to the people.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I am delighted to be here with Tasha Journeys. And yes, I am a full-time solo traveler. After 30 years living in DC, I say it's time to go. Packed up, I sold all my belongings and packed up and say I'm gonna travel the world. And that's what I've been doing. December, it's a full year now that I've
That's
been
I was
out here on the road.
that's
And so
like,
yeah,
I'm so sorry. I was
so
gonna say I thought it was a year now, but go ahead. Sorry.
it's a year, so I threw that job out the window, and just plan to do this within that COVID period of 2 years, and boom, here I am. I was on a mission for those 2 years to really be out of there, out of DC after 30 years, where I just the happiest place I've been and where I wanted to be, but it was time to move on. And now I share my travel tips and adventures around the world on my Queen of DC YouTube channel.
Yes, and we can tell the difference because if you was in DC, you would be weird. You would have on something like this
I
right
know,
about
isn't that
now.
funny? You look
I
all
know.
you look cold.
You know what? It actually hasn't been that cold for those who are just joining. Welcome. I live in Metro Detroit area, so it's winter for us. And Shawn is from DC, but she may act brand new, like she don't know what winter is anymore. But
Yeah. Look, I'm a native St. Louisan. Okay.
okay,
I'm from the Loop where we had them bad, horrible winters, but you still went to school and it was cold. And then I moved to DC, 30 years, same type of climate. Girl, I'm done with it. I can't do it. I cannot do it. With it.
I want to be
Mm-mm.
like I'm going to get back to being gone in the winter. So last year this time I was in Kenya sending my family videos like what's snow, and what's cold. Now I'm over here with the regular people being cold. But thank you for those who are joining in on a live. I want to say for the replay game, make sure you show us some love in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from. And if you have any questions during the live or even on the replay, make sure you drop them in the comments. I always to respond to comments, even when people be shady. I still respond. And Shy will be in the
You know,
comments responding too.
right. No, we could get shady too.
Right. Listen. So I'm gonna, I'm gonna get to the people who I just want to say hi to. I think one of my contacts popped out, so this is gonna be interesting. Janella.
Hi, Janella. That's my
uh,
girl.
hey Janella. So what I you are my first fellow YouTuber that I've had on. So Queen of DC
Well,
audience is here, and she got a lot of good content. So her people are here. But thank you for the introduction, Shine. You already mentioned a little bit about it took you said like 2 years, but let's back up a little bit. Like I'm
mhm.
welcoming you in. What was your inspiration behind this leap of faith of selling everything and traveling for early retirement?
Well, it went back to 2016 when I went to Paris to run the Paris Marathon. And just being in Paris, I was like, you know what? And I love Paris. I study French and everything. Love French. And I said, you know what? I could live here. I can live abroad. I can live here. And then I made it up in my mind in 2016 that I would live abroad one day. That's how I am. I put it out there. Oh, it's going to happen. And from then, I would travel every year out the country, around the world. But what happened was COVID. We had to stop traveling, and that is when I said, you know what? When this is over, I'm getting out of here. Life is too short. I just wanted to just say, I said I wanted to live abroad one day. Let's put that plan in action. Let me get my house together in order. Let me eliminate this debt. And in 2 years, I put it on the timeline. 2 years, I'm out of here.
So in 2020, you were like 2 years, I'm gone,
Yep.
and you
Yep.
were gone because I met you in. I feel like it was last year, but it was February, January of this year. You had just started your journey, right?
Yeah, that's true. I started in January in Mexico City. Then I went in February to Thailand, and that's where we met in Chiang Mai. Yeah, in
Yeah.
Chiang Mai.
Yep, in
Yeah,
Shanghai. And so a lot of people always ask me, like, how do you meet people? We met from a Facebook group. I literally posted in it probably was Exodus Summit group. So Stephanie Perry's
yeah.
group, if you're on and watching familiar. I put a picture of myself and said, hey, I'm in Chiang Mai, Thailand. If anyone wants to meet me for lunch or whatever at this place or time. And then you responded, and then Melissa responded as well. So that's how we met.
Right. And let me tell you, Disabled Diva Eve is who tagged me because
Oh, okay.
she knew I was in Chiang Mai, and she tagged me on your post. And then that's how I learned about it. And then we all three got together
Okay. Thank you.
for a scrumptious lunch and
Right.
dinner.
That was a day we had met and we was hanging out until I don't know what time. It was daytime all the way into night, just
Yeah.
strangers meeting. And here we are almost a year later, still talking. We talk almost every day on WhatsApp, sending voice notes back and forth. So
Yes, yes.
no, I was just gonna say that I'm gonna get to the comments in a second. I lost my train of thought. Sorry. People
Meeting people. Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, it's scary. You meeting strangers. How you know they're not crazy? You can meet strangers, crazy people in your home country too.
Right, girl, let me tell you, this is too funny. You know, Malaysia. I love Malaysia. Kuala Lumpur, that's my family. They love me there. I love them, right?
Mhm.
So I met from YouTube and on Instagram, I met one of my friends actually, but we had never met before. And I wanted to go to a particular restaurant, and she said, I'll show you around my area. I said, great. She said, I'll pick you up at the metro. And my friends were like, girl, leave us a contact or something. I was like, ooh, I ain't think nothing of it. And so she sent the directions and everything. And she knew, she said, I know your safety and every. I said, oh, you thought better than me because I didn't even think about it. I'm on the metro, like, ooh, I'm going to meet my friend. Girl, I don't even pay that no attention because I am a really good judge of character. I go off my instinct, and I've been living alone since what, 30 some years, and it hasn't failed me yet.
Right. Same here. And I just had to say that because um a lot I got that I still get that question when I tell people what I did or whatever. It's still the how did you meet people? And then I say Facebook groups and it do sound like shady and like a little Dayline mystery type thing, but you're gonna you go where like-minded people are. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, if you want to come all the way from DC to Thailand to do something crazy, okay, that's weird. But listen, if
But
you have go ahead, I'm sorry.
no, but this is my normal life. In DC, I used to hop in cars with strangers and everything, but not so much as years passed on. But when I first moved there and all of that, up until a certain time, it was nothing.
Now, thank you everyone that's joined. I've been seeing my family here. Thank y'all for always supporting me. And people who are seeing their near retirement. So I'm gonna jump back to Shawn. If you're just joining, make sure you hitting that like button. If you have been here, make sure you hit that like button because it helps this video get out to more people who may want to view this content. But we were talking about her plan. She had 2016. She went to Paris and ironically, 2016 is when I went to South Africa. We didn't know each other, and that's when I said I wanted to
Wow.
travel the world, which I know, right? I was like, I didn't know that was me. So that year, 2016 was when I went. I'm like, I want to travel the world.
Uh-huh.
And COVID hit is what prompted you to be like, okay, let me get serious about it. 2 years, debt payment plan, getting your finances in order, selling everything to make it happen. So if you have any questions about that, make sure you leave them in the chat. We're going to be answering any questions that
Mhm.
you may have for Shawn. But what was the hardest part about in that 2 years? what was the hardest part about preparing to leave from a financial or just personal relationship type of standpoint?
I didn't find it hard
Okay.
because I'm the type of person that once I put my mind to something, I'm going to do it. And it's what I wanted. So I didn't find it hard. Uh, Eliminating, I was so embarrassed that I even had that debt. I didn't have to have that debt, but it was a mindset change because I'm like, that could have been paid off. Girl, what we, but I was in that mindset, oh, I paid a little $400 a month. It ain't bothering me, and going on with my life. And so I was a bit embarrassed that I even had that debt that could have been paid off years ago. And I said, girl, get yourself together. And so for me, it was a great challenge. I'm motivated by it because I'm like, yeah. And you see, I'm knocking that out. I'm knocking that off, and I'm getting closer uh, to my goal. And I really didn't find it very difficult because I'm such a positive person. And challenges happen, obstacles, but I've always figured it out. I had confidence that I'll figure it out and go into the next because I have been, as an entrepreneur, you go through ups and downs. You have to take risks. So I became very comfortable with those things over a 15-year process. Um, and then I changed my mindset to say, if this, get this debt because I don't want to take it with me. So
Mhm.
that became really easy because with the finances and everything, once that started paying off, I just started saving and I never spent or re-added to debt. I just kept saving. So I didn't accumulate more debt once I cleared debt. And also, I'm not one to feel like I'm missing out on anything. Only trips I took within that 2-year period, because I knew my goal was just going back and forth home to visit my parents. That's it. And I was okay with not going on the other trips once the world opened up because I knew my goal. And I stuck to it. That's just me.
And people, you're hearing your story. People are like, "That's probably why y'all are friends." Because my friends and my family know I'm disciplined, and I'm the same way, focused on setting those goals, and it's all about delaying gratification. I talk about it all the time. If you really want to hit a certain goal, you have to think about, okay, I want to bypass on going to Jamaica right now because I know I want to retire out the country. You know what I mean? So
Right,
it makes
right.
a little bit easier. What is a nice transition into the sponsor of today, which is me, booktasha.com. Until I get Amex and Wells Fargo
All
sponsoring,
right.
I'm sponsoring this right now. So we're talking about personal finances and hitting your goals. If you have any questions and you want to work with me to improve your finances, you can go to booktasha.com. If you don't know, I'm a CPA, licensed in the state of Michigan. So I do provide financial coaching with people and also talking a little bit more if you have solo world travel plans. You can book a consult with me there. But listen, to your point, I'm with you. I'm tunnel vision when it comes to hitting those financial goals or different things like that to get to where I want to be. Now, when you were planning to leave for the 2 years, did you know like, hey, I'm going to plan to permanently move, or you were like, did you ever think about doing scouting trips to see if this was for you?
What do I need to scout? I'm not that type. I'm going, I'm going. I don't have, my life was so, I had such structure throughout my whole life. When I had my career on Capitol Hill, there was structure. There was definitely structure. You do this, you do that. Then I went into the world of entrepreneurship, my own business, and that's not structured. It's structured to a certain point, but it's not, because you got to quickly make decisions. And so no, I didn't want that same. And then I started working, as a contractor, so that was structured. So I didn't want that lifestyle of being strict into this. Let's flow. Let's see what happens. And that's just how I was rolling. And also, I wanted to say that in terms of when we were saying with, I had spent 30 years of my life in DC, and along that 2-year path, before I, how something strengthens your resolve,
Mhm.
girl, because initially you're attached to your stuff. Oh, my place is so cute, and you're attached to. I put all this money into it, and you're attached to your stuff, girl. When the person upstairs, it wasn't even the person upstairs. Somebody over their tub started leaking. in my bathroom. I said, you know what? I'm done.
Oh,
I am done. I'm not holding on to
oh
nothing.
no.
I'm
Yeah.
done. So that really strengthened my resolve within that time that, hey, I'm this is the right thing to do because I'm sick of it. I'm done. Bam. And so I had given DC 30 years, over 30 years of my life. It's a place that I always wanted to be, that was achieved. And I loved everything about it. I lived a good life. And now it's time to move on. And people say, do you miss it? I said, not yet, because I gave it everything. And it gave me back what I needed and what I, desired. So no, I'm on to something new.
No, so we have a question from Kevin. He said, "Do you think about having kept working and saving versus enjoying life now?"
That's Kevin. That's my Kevin. No. What am I gonna do?
I knew
He
you
will
were gonna say
always
no.
Kevin. That Kevin is just my love. Kevin would say, "What are you? It's just stuff. It's just stuff." He made me realize it's just stuff. That's all it is. It's just stuff. And then I realized you're right. It's just stuff. I don't need that stuff. I would be doing the same thing at this point in life, just working for stuff that I don't even need to sit up and look at.
And I would say, listen, I have seen a few comments on here about people saying they're close to retirement. Um, Even if you're not thinking about relocating outside the country when you retire, because it's not for everyone. However, maybe this live will inspire you. We still got some more stuff to discuss, so make sure you stick around to the end. But decluttering in general is so important at retirement age, because you may want to downsize and move out of your house anyway. And it's just better to get a better picture of like your full circle financial stuff from getting rid of things in your home. You may have clothes in your closet that you don't need, but you're just taking up space and buying more stuff, getting more credit card debt. You're just accumulating more and more stuff. And research shows if you the more stuff you have, you feel attached to it, and
Mhm.
you when you buy more stuff, you feel that more sense of like connectedness to things that don't even matter. So when
Right.
you're getting close to retirement, whether you're gonna move out the country or not, you really should start downsizing one drawer at a time, one closet at a time, because it will make things easier if you're thinking about selling your home, or just again, maybe you may have loved ones may come move with you in the future to help take care of you as you age. You want to start that decluttering process early as possible.
I'm a
Um,
minimalist anyway, so but you accumulate stuff in general, even as a minimalist. You're like, where did all this stuff come from? So, but typically I'm a minimalist. I travel with one carry-on and one backpack. That's it.
Listen, same when we met, and
Yes.
one carry on, one shoulder bag. That's it. And I'm typically, to your point, I usually don't have a lot of stuff either. But before I left, so for people who don't know my story, I'm gonna tell a little bit of it. It's about Shawn a day, but I did quit my job to travel the world for 13 months, and I got rid of everything, furniture, rented out my place, all of that, and then I kept my winter clothes, which I'm glad I kept because I need them. But I kept some clothes, but I got rid of a lot of stuff, and that happened
Yeah.
literally doing drawer by drawer, week by week, month by month, and when I came back, I was like, I could have got rid of more stuff, and I didn't even have that many things.
Mm-hmm.
But I still end up throwing out like three big like contractor bags of stuff just because I'm like, I don't need this. You know what I
Right.
mean? I threw myself a going away party before I left, and I told people, please don't buy me gifts because
Right.
this party's on Saturday and I'm leaving on Monday, and I'm not gonna be able to use it.
Right.
And because I'm like, I just don't need things or stuff. So
Stuff.
um, I'm a lot of comments on the decluttering. So I got some more questions coming in. But one more, I want my soapbox about decluttering because it's a big thing for me. At the end of the year too, I always find, even when I know I don't have that much stuff now, I still go through, even if it's paperwork, start shredding stuff. Like I like to enter the new year with like just stuff that I got rid of. It may not be
Mhm.
everything that I wanted to, but just a box of receipts I want to get rid of. For example, I'm gonna go through and shred it. Stuff that I know I'm not wearing, I'm gonna get rid of it. But
Right.
Back to your questions. Did you have children? My name is Whitney. Hi, Whitney.
Hi, Whitney. No, I don't have children. So it's very easy for me to just up and go because there's nothing, I'm attached to in that way. But so that made my journey a bit easier
Same. I don't have
because
no
I
kids.
know different things come with children and families.
Yes, as my mama is on here saying now. Hi, mom. This is Tanya saying, my goodness, she decluttering. Everybody is late loving the whole decluttering talk. Listen, this is your sign to get rid of stuff, especially with these holidays. A lot of y'all got holiday vacation declutter. I'm seeing all these comments about this. So, to the fun
Hey,
stuff, we talked about
hey,
the
Glenn.
preparation. Hi, Glenn, Clifton.
Cliff.
Yeah,
Clifton.
Cliff. Listen, I literally think one of my contacts popped out. This is a struggle mode for me. Do
Oh,
you
my goodness.
hear me? Okay,
I'm
so
reading some of them.
go ahead. If you can pull some of them up and you see some of them. If you have see any questions in there.
I'm
Um,
enjoying my life. Francis, hey Francis. Yes, I met Francis. See, that's the thing. You meet people, they connect with you via Instagram or Facebook. YouTube has been a wonderful platform to meet wonderful people and share and resources. And they've been really with me on this journey, which is nice because I'm solo, but you don't feel with the internet and the connection and the community there, you don't feel so alone by yourself because you can reach out and ask for resources or be connected to other wonderful people. So I've loved that about this forum because when I was in Kuala Lumpur, I met through my YouTube channel, I met a local who had went to school in Washington, D.C.,
mhm.
and we became friends. And so when my eyes swole up and I had a medical emergency, I was like, oh my God, what do I do? I just called her and I said, hey, can you recommend a doctor, a clinic, or where I can go tomorrow? And boom, she recommended one. And so I'm very open to building community. I'm very approachable and with locals. So I get into the community and just be a part of it, talk to people because they want to talk to you, especially, Vietnam. I tell people, man, you talk about hospitality.
Mm.
Ooh, it's on another level here. And they're all about making you comfortable, and it's part of their culture. So everyone I meet, they don't let the looks deceive you or the stares. Just wave, say hello.
Mhm.
Hello, wave, honey. They invite you to have a drink with them and everything. I done said that. Can't speak a bit of Vietnamese or English, but we sitting up there toasting. Hey, using the Google Translate. But let me tell you something. Everybody knows Washington D.C. because they'll
This-
ask you where you from, and D.C. I say D.C. Oh, America, America. Yeah, America.
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So listen, we talking about the good stuff. Let's back up to countries that may have disappointed you. So you've been going traveling for a year. How you know your count? How many countries have you been to first before we get to that?
I think this year I've been to 10 and I
Okay,
repeated some because I'm a slow traveler. I don't necessarily have to bounce around.
because you a
And I'm
lady.
not country
Here, no?
counting. I'm not country counting. So this year, 10, about 10.
Okay. So out of all the countries you visited since you in your year of travel, do you feel you encountered any countries that were overhyped, or you just were underwhelmed? You like I don't got to come back here.
Let me say this. Every place has its own magic to me, and every place has its, and I'm going to talk from a perspective of what I hear others say based on my experience. And the only place, and I don't want to down it, but I'm going to say two things about it. The only place that I think people overhype is Bali. To me,
Same.
to me, it's very rural. And I'm a city girl, and I like rural to a certain point. But when you see the flowers and the villas and all, that's nice. But when you living there, that's totally different. Now, mind you, the people are beautiful, lovely. I even shedded a tear when I left because I guess I had built the community within that time, and it just felt, really, I don't know, it touched me. And so, but I think it's overhyped because, honey, I'm walking down dirt roads, like almost falling in creeks and getting bugs and monkeys. The daggone monkeys drove me
Ooh,
crazy. So
oh,
I'm
you had like a monkey attack. I remember that. Like not on you, but like the place you went. I forgot all about that.
attack my food, and and then they have earthquakes. I did not find it to be the best place I ever been or anything like that. The people are beautiful. I just living and vacationing are two different things.
Yes.
And I think people go when they vacation because it's beautiful when you see those pictures and the swings and all of that. But live there every day. This man invited me out. Talking about, you want to get coffee? I said, what time is it? It's dark. Because I got to walk back down this road. It's dark. I fall in the creek. The car hit me. Motorcycle. I can't do it. Rocks and pebbles. No, ma'am. No, sir. No, sir. I'm not available.
It is real rural. And to your point, I'm glad you brought that point up. It's different from vacationing places and living there. So a lot of the places that I went when I was traveling, I was there maybe a week or 2 weeks, but then some of my favorite spots were there a month. Bali happened to be one of those places I was stuck in for a month because I was waiting for my mom to come to visit me in Australia. So I had to stay there for a month and stick it out. I would just say if you haven't seen my experience on Bali, like I'm not telling you not to go there because it's on a lot of people's bucket list. I'm just sharing my perspective, same as Shawn. Um, I have videos on it, but I will just say that it's very far away, and for us, we were already in Southeast
We were
Asia, so it
already
really
there.
wasn't.
Yeah, I would be disappointed if I came from America and only went there. I tell people, if you're going to Bali, couple it with another trip,
Exactly.
Thailand, Singapore, someplace, couple it because it's so far away and you can get that in North Carolina or someplace.
That's my perfect advice. Like if you talking about almost traveling a whole day to get there,
Yeah,
it's not worth a whole day to travel. Like you need to couple it with something else.
you need to
So I
couple it.
definitely agree.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, go ahead.
And so, yeah, I'm just saying that's the issue. But so I was ready to go. I think I spent what 3 weeks or so there. So I was ready. They had some delicious food. I was ready to go. So that's why. And it's not my spot, but I did go to a wonderful dentist there that Disabled Diva recommended. So I'm happy about that, and I will go back for that. But I that's why I was a little torn because I actually shedded a tear when I left, and I think it was about the inn owner was wonderful, and I would walk up and down this path and talk to the people at the businesses. I met lovely young lady. And so I think it was kind of, I still felt a connection to the people. It's always about the people for me. And
Yeah.
I felt the connection. And so I was like, I'm ready to go, but why am I crying?
Well, got a question on where are you now? What country are you in?
I am in Da Nang, Vietnam, which is central Vietnam on the coast. So I have the beach here. And in the middle. The south is Ho Chi Minh City, which is Saigon, also Saigon, and the north would be Hanoi. So I traveled in March from the north all the way to the south, and so I know this is my spot once I've traveled to all the different places from Hanoi to Ha Long Bay, Ninh Binh, and Hoi An, and Ho Chi Minh, and some other cities in between. So this is my spot in Vietnam, and it's been wonderful. Da
I
Nang.
deny. So what
Mhm.
is your favorite? This came up, I think, from Cliff was asking something similar, but what are if you had to pick like your two favorite countries, what would they be? And also, I want to say included like even if they're separate from low relocation, because there's countries that I love, but I wouldn't want to move to. So, what's your top two favorite countries?
Oh my goodness. Okay. Definitely Malaysia. Definitely
Yes.
Kuala Lumpur. That is, really my spot. Kuala
I know
Lumpur.
you about to
So,
be the queen of Malaysia. Like I keep telling you, ain't
girl,
no
they
queen
know
in
me.
DC.
They know me in KL.
Oh no, she
And
dropped
now
off.
I
Okay.
say, what other African American solo woman walking around KLCC but me? She said, you right. I say, so they know who I am. But the people are very warm and welcoming. They've supported me on YouTube and love my content. So
Yeah.
Malaysia is number one in terms of where I would live. is Malaysia. And, I don't think you have to have one place. I think I can have homes all over. So let me tell you. So also, I love Paris. I love that whole experience. But now that I've been to Southeast Asia, Paris has moved down the list. Okay.
Really?
Because of the affordability. Why? I can
Okay.
get my whole luxury life and just enjoy my improved quality of life and healthcare Southeast Asia as opposed to paying an arm and a leg in Euro. That
Okay.
changes your perspective, especially as you get older and talk about retirement and don't want to work.
Listen, so I want to pause right here.
So
I
I
gotta.
can't hear you, Tasha. Can you hear me? I
Yeah, I
can't
can
hear
hear
you.
you. Can you guys let me know if you
I
can hear me?
can't hear you.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna drop her off. Um, if you can hear me, let me know in the comments, and I'm gonna add her back to see if she can hear me now. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me
Is it
now?
me or you?
Yeah, it's you. Let me
It's
see.
me?
Yeah, I'm gonna take it to the
I'm
comments.
not sure what's going on.
I can hear you just fine. Yeah, you guys can hear me. Can you
I
hear
might
Shawn?
have to come out and come back in.
Okay. Yeah,
Let
do
me
that.
come out and go back in.
So while
Let
she's
me
doing
leave.
that, I'm seeing the questions that are coming in. So we can hear us both, but for whatever reason, she can't hear me. So we're gonna bring her back. We about to get to my favorite part, talking about money. So if you're just joining us, Shawn has been traveling the world for a year. I always tell her she's a lady of leisure. She's in Southeast Asia. She was prompted to do this exploration of the world from visiting Paris, and she was just saying before she popped off with Paris is down her list now because of the affordability in Southeast Asia. So I agree, Southeast Asia is very, very price friendly. So I had a very nice one bedroom apartment for $500 a month, and that included cleaning services. And even when I said $500 USD, other people I met was like, "That's a lot, right?" For just a one bedroom. So while we're waiting for Shawn to come in, I am going to see if there's any questions for me while waiting for Shawn to come back on. Okay, let's see. Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay,
You can
good.
hear me? Let me cut this down. Okay. You can hear me?
Yep, yep.
I don't
I
know what
could hear
happened.
you before. You could hear me. Everybody was like, they could hear both of us.
Really, I couldn't hear you at all. But where did I leave off? Did I say the affordability? So that's why I put Paris down on the list. So my place in Europe, can I tell you my place in Europe?
Yeah,
My place in Europe, check this out. A huge surprise for me. Bucharest, Romania.
I'm not surprised because I love Romania too. But that people don't say, "Oh, I want to move to Romania," so I get that.
That would be my European spot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um. So someone
And
was saying,
Bangkok and
go ahead.
Thailand, Bangkok.
Someone
Vietnam.
Vietnam. I'm gonna get to the questions. And so I saw a comment about Prague. So I don't know if you had Prague. If you mentioned Prague as one of your favorite places on your channel before.
Prague. Now listen, I ain't mentioned nothing about being my favorite place in Prague. I got a whole video on Prague and
Oh, that's what it is.
they
Okay.
little stank attitudes. But no, everybody know they got them. They don't like foreigners. They are really resistant in terms of their attitude is like, mm. But that's just the way it is. But Prague is a beautiful city. I had a great time, but they're just not very what is it? Warm-hearted.
Okay.
Where like Budapest, I went to Budapest again this year too. That Budapest was one of my favorite places, and I went back this year to see if it was still that low cost option of Eastern European. No, it's not. It's Bucharest. But so it moved down the level. But Budapest, I went from Budapest, which was warm and welcoming, to Prague, which is like, mm, what you
Yeah.
want. You know what? They don't even ask you, can I help you? Not, and I know customer service is all that different around the world, but dang, they just like, mm, thank
Yes,
attitude.
that's definitely not on a list there for places. I didn't
But
know.
definitely
Oh,
visit. It's beautiful.
okay, I haven't been to Prague, and I didn't know. You know what? I had seen like because we were talking about Prague before, our phone listens to everything we say. After when we were in Thailand, I started seeing little like YouTube reels or shorts on it. But anyway, question from Janella. Um, Australia was amazing. I do have some Australia vlogs on my video, not anything specifically talking about Australia. I am going to work on that content, but my mom and I went to Sydney, Brisbane, and to Cairns. So three different states in Australia, and we had such a good time. But I want to back up to the affordability. So
Mm-hmm.
for example, like in your favorites of Malaysia, do you have an idea like how much it would cost to rent an apartment monthly and like any numbers you can think of on top of your head for groceries or eating out or any type of numbers to throw out for people who are trying to gauge what is affordable?
Sure, it's going to be less expensive than the United States, period, especially East Coast. So you can get, and again, think about everybody, what they consider, what they need, and quality. So for me, in Malaysia, of where I want to be, because I'm a city girl, I love the center and being by Petronas Towers. That could easily cost me. Here's the key to that, though: you have to sign a year lease to get the deal. So in order for me to get the 600, the between the $600-700 rent in the city, I have to sign a year lease.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's going to be more expensive. You can look around and try to see if somebody can do monthly, but they typically do ask for 6 months or a year, and then the average might be 8 to 1,000. You could for what you want, depending on where you are. If you lived out, you can get something for about $600.
Okay. And then like
Um,
going out or just any other numbers you want to throw out for like entertainment or anything?
I can throw out everything is reasonable cost to me. Alcohol in Malaysia, I have a video on my culture shocks of Malaysia. Alcohol is very expensive in Malaysia because it's a Muslim country. So you're not going in there getting a $10 bottle of wine just to test out or anything like that. Drinks at the restaurants are never too strong. But yeah, so alcohol is very expensive, and food. I guess food is, I don't know, because I just buy what I want, and I don't even. I tell you what, I know the difference when I go to different countries.
Okay.
Bucharest was much cheaper than Malaysia in terms of groceries. I could get a whole bag, chicken, sides, potatoes, vegetables for 12. I mean, a whole bag, drink, orange juice for $12 in Bucharest, Romania, vegetables and all of that. I mean, I had a bag full for $12 and could eat for the week. But in Malaysia, it cost me a little bit more because it's a little more cosmopolitan, and not over Bucharest. Bucharest is cosmopolitan too, but it's just the price difference for some reason. Very strange. But you're not going. You can find whatever you want. If your budget's $100, you can find something with that $100. And let me tell you, your rent can even be about $300 or $400, depending on where you want to live or how far you want to live outside the city and not too far. You could pay $400, but that goes with a longer term lease.
Okay. No, and I just was when I was thinking numbers, I was just thinking like even if you grocery shop some countries ideas because I've shared that it was about I would spend probably $30 a week on groceries in Chiang Mai because I was going like every other day and getting fresh
I
stuff.
go every day.
Yeah.
I did that in DC too. I went every day to the grocery store. So, you know,
No, and then I wanted to so thank you for sharing the cost of apartments and food. You mentioned that you had a reaction in your eye in Malaysia and you went to the doctor. How much was the going to the doctor? Or do you have insurance that covers that?
oh my God, no, I didn't need to use my insurance. I went to the two things I did. I went to the medical clinic, and I got videos on these. Medical tourism is the best, most affordable in Malaysia. The best. Kuala Lumpur has these magnificent medical centers. I got for my eye and my medication, it cost me $18. And they were like, that's expensive. You went to the expensive clinic. I went to where the Petronas Towers is. So right there in the city, it probably is a little more expensive. But $18 for me is not expensive. Okay. Now I had a full physical. It's called an executive physical for foreigners. They have because of medical tourism. I got everything done: blood work, mammogram, pap smear, radiology, sonogram. All for what did I pay? I got the video on my channel. It's called medical. I think it was 400 and something dollars for everything. But
Yeah.
here's the deal. They would have gave you 10% off if I had MasterCard. So I was mad I didn't have my MasterCard. But you could get that in the States. Oh, and an eye exam and all of that for less than $500.
Yeah, I watched the video. It's amazing
You
how
know what it is.
low cost is.
It's
Yeah.
when my alarm goes off on my, I can't hear you when my alarm goes off on my phone. It's so sickening.
Can you hear me now?
Let me go back. Let me go back out and come back in, okay?
Okay. So Shawn has all everything she's sharing, she has on her YouTube channel. So if you type Queen of DC in YouTube, her channel is gonna pop up. She has a lot of good information on medical tourism, just like the life she's living as she's traveling. So same thing if you like watching my vlogs, go check out her blogs as well. Um, to answer my question. How long can you stay in another country as a U.S. citizen? It depends on the visa requirements of that particular country. So it varies. So, for example, we just got a question on how long can you stay in another country as a U.S. citizen. It's all depends on that country's visa requirements. So, Thailand, for example, you used to when I first went there say 45 days without reapplying for a visa or paying. Um, so it just really depends on that country. You can stay gone from the U.S. as long as you want to. I don't know if you
For
have any.
Yeah, for Malaysia, we automatically get 3 months tourist visa. You don't have to fill out any paperwork. So you can go to Malaysia and get 3 months on your visa. You definitely want to make sure you leave before your visa is up. So I leave a week before my visa is up. So that's why I had to leave Malaysia because my visa was about to expire. In Vietnam just got a 90-day visa. And so
Oh
with
wow!
but you have to apply in advance. Don't do it at the last minute because you don't buy your ticket and be like, okay, I'm gonna get my visa. Wait until you get your visa, and have a refundable ticket if you don't get in time because they're not going to let you in. But it's 90 days and it's two ways. You can go for 30 days and pay $25. For 90 days, it's considered a multiple entry visa. So for 90 days, I can go for $50. I can go in and out of the country
Okay,
and up into those 90 days. So that
that's
is new. They just implemented that in August. So I'm happy about that because the last time I came, it was only 30 days.
oh that's good. 90 days. Listen, when you're gone, when you're traveling like how we have, you be like, how many days I got? 10 more days. Do I
Right.
want to apply? What am I going to do? So you have to stay on top of the country's visa requirements when you are traveling.
And
Um,
then if
Go
you're
ahead.
moving, you want to rest. I'm a slow traveler, so I bounced around a whole lot, and that gets tired. I spend at least for me to get a feel of a country, I have to spend at least a month there because I don't think 2 weeks is long enough for me to appreciate. That's what happened in Chiang Mai. I was like, I don't like it's too touristy, and then I was in where was I in Krabi, and I got sun poisoning and I wanted to go to Vietnam, but I need to work on my visa. I said, you know what? I'm gonna give Chiang Mai another try. Went to Chiang Mai and really enjoyed it, and that I had more time there when I went back. So I spent that month there, and it was very nice. So that, and I absolutely love Bangkok, but you have to go. I go places where I can rest, and I knew I need to go back to KL that's going to I'm on delve into the culture now and really get to know it and work on my YouTube channel. And it was the best thing I've done because I really got an appreciation for the country and really kind of planted some seeds and met the community.
And so Tanya, I think she just addressed your question. Where would she a question? Where would you like to revisit? She kind of explained she has revisited countries, but as of now, is there any countries you would like to revisit that you have not?
Any country, yeah, any revisited countries. I came back to Vietnam. I came back to Vietnam because I liked the beach area, and then they had the 90-day visa. I would revisit Bucharest, Romania, and because they have the mountains and the beaches, so I would explore a little bit more. And Thailand, revisit Thailand. But there are some other countries in Southeast Asia that I haven't visited that it's on my list, but I'm not going to Japan until spring because it's winter there. South Korea, uh, Philippines, where else? Taiwan. So those are still, I still have some places. And then I'm going to go back to Malaysia, but I'm going to go to the outskirts before I make it back to the center to visit some of those cities. So I still got some plans for Southeast Asia.
Okay. And is there any place you could see yourself living permanently? I think you've answered this already, but it was KO, right?
Kuala Lumpur.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I figured that. I just wanted to make sure I'm hitting everyone's questions going back.
and and I say KL because of the diversity in the environment, the community, and what's available, the malls, the shopping, the entertainment. It's world. I think it's world class and it's underrated, and we could keep it that way.
And why? What? This is going to answer Cliff's question and will comment about. Tell us about your time with Yoni
Yuna.
Yuna. What? Why did you even have Malaysia on your list, and what
Oh
happened
my God.
there?
Now y'all talk about a full circle moment. This is all documented. I learned about this was over a decade ago. I love Yuna, and she's the second most popular Malaysian singer. But I love Yuna, and I said, where is she from? I don't, where is she from? And she's from Malaysia, a city of Malaysia, but she spent some time in KL, grew up there. And I said, wow. And that's how I got interested in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, because it wasn't on my radar over 10 years ago. And then I started researching it, and I said, you know what? Whenever I go to Asia, I'm going to visit Kuala Lumpur. I've only heard good things about it. I've never heard anything bad about Malaysia. And I never heard a whole bunch about Malaysia. And so I went there, and come to find out, in October, she was having a concert. Can you believe that she hadn't been home? Her mom still lives in the area and everything.
Okay.
She hadn't been home for a concert in 8 years. And she
Oh,
was going to be there in October. I had to go. And it was so funny because it was only standing room that was available. And on my way to the concert, I made a video, and I had spoke about her, my introduction in my other videos to my Malaysian audiences on YouTube. This is why I'm here, because of her. And I got to see her in a concert. But check this out, on the concert, I on my YouTube, I say, listen, Yuna, I love you because auntie and sis, I don't stand at concerts. And I say auntie and sis because in Malaysia, if you're older than them, they call you auntie or sis. And a lot of people in my comments call me that. And I said, okay, auntie, I can't do the standing, but I love you. So I love you. Well, she saw the video.
that's
Her
crazy.
her mom showed her the video. And I had posted some from my concert, some moments from the concert, and she tagged me, and she was like, I love it. And she shared it with her audience, and her audience was like, oh my God, Yuna. And girl, then after that, she had a meet and greet. Who wanted to go see her at the meet and greet? Me. And
You.
who got to be on stage with her at the meet and greet? Me, and ask her questions. Who got to hug her? Who's besties with her now? Me. But what's so funny is I was sitting talking to someone, and the lady turned around and she said, are you the queen of DC? I said, yes. She said, I'm Yuna's mom. I'm like, What a pleasure to meet you. I told her to thank you. She said it was meant to be because I wasn't even supposed to sit here. I'm only sitting here
Oh,
because of my friends. And I said a little prayer for you that I hope you got called to go on stage with her. And I
oh,
did.
oh. That was a full. I was so happy when I seen that video. Listen, that was a full circle moment for real. I was like, "What?"
I
You
cannot
were
have
like, "I'm
planned it.
gonna meet her."
Can you believe that? I could not have planned. And it really touched my heart. And I was crying because I couldn't plan. I didn't plan that. Some
Hmm.
things you just don't plan in this world and it just happens, you know?
Exactly.
Um, yeah, I just was like, what? And you're not gonna believe this. When I was leaving to come to Vietnam, guess whose song was playing on the radio?
Yona.
Eunice.
Yuna. I
Yeah,
always want to call it Yona. Yuna song was
Eunice.
playing.
I'm like, unbelievable, unbelievable,
No, I
unbelievable.
know you going back to KL for sure. That's your top spot.
That's
So got another question for you. Are there places that you haven't visited yet that are still on your list to travel? How do you decide where to go?
okay. Yes, and I named those places on this side of the world would be South Korea, Japan, Taiwan, Philippines over here, and other parts of the world. I decide logistically because this is far away from the other side, and what's so interesting is, I left Malaysia and had to go all the way to Costa Rica, and
I
I was
know.
like, oh my god. Jesus Christ, that's all the way on the other side of the world. And so then I went to Paris the next, because I got a ticket and I was like, okay, I'm going to Paris. That was the cheapest entry into Europe. So I'm going to Paris. And mind you, I had said I wanted to go to Paris in July, way long time ago, earlier that year, and it happened. Then I was on that side, so I went to Budapest and Bucharest. But I logistically try to, and then I made my way back. But I logistically try to plan it. So once I finish South East Asia, maybe I'll stay, or maybe I'll go to South America. I've already been to certain countries in South America, Brazil, which I love. I actually love Brazil, uh, Bahia. And I've been to some other places, Mexico over there. It's still some places in Mexico I want to travel. But after you've been someplace and you learn and you grow and you experience, your perspective changes. And so it's like, I do want to go to Africa, but I don't want to do that solo. So it's still some other places. So I plan logistically more so than anything.
Okay.
Logistics. So whatever's closer to this side of the world to make myself to go on the other side. So that's how I decide.
And what time is it where you are?
It is 9:53 a.m.
So she's 12 hours ahead. For most of us who's watching it, most people who are watching are on Eastern Standard Time zone. So it's already Monday morning over there.
Yeah, it's Monday morning
So
here. I had my breakfast and everything, girl. They treat you right over here. You get a full meal deal over here for breakfast. It's like a dinner.
well, yeah, it is that included in where you're staying.
Yes, it's included where I'm staying. Look, here's the type of person I am. I also travel in Malaysia. I stayed in many different places. It could be Airbnb, condos, hotels, just to get a feel for where I want to be in the city. So when I go back, I know places or I can scope them out ahead of time, just like the same with Danang. I have been in hotel and Airbnb and apartments because I want to know location wise where would I like to stay if I came back. And Danang, let me tell y'all this: don't sleep on Vietnam. Vietnam is a beautiful country, but affordability, it's the it's the most affordable country in the world. You hear me? I can get a nice spot for $400, for let's say $600, 400 to between 450 and $600. I can get a nice spot that includes cleaning, that includes breakfast. Girl,
Includes
girl.
everything.
It includes everything. It includes everything. And even their hotels, their luxury hotels. I'm going to do a video about my favorite hotel. You talk about, cause that's where I met my besties. You talk about service, A plus service, cater to you because that's our whole culture here. You
Hmm.
see my hair, honey. You see my
I know you got your
haircut.
hair
These the
cut.
bees haircut, baby. She laid it out. I got a little video on that too. So here now, the difference with Danong,
Mhm.
it's calmer. So I'm not a Hanoi type of girl. Hanoi is wild. I can't do that and have to. I just learned how to cross the street. And Ho Chi Minh, it didn't really appeal to me to stay there long term. Okay,
Mhm.
this is where I would like to stay long term, and the affordability is just. But they don't have the luxuries in terms of the malls and Western types of deal as Kuala Lumpur. So
Okay.
yeah. And so sometimes you want your Western food and your Western, you can find places, but grocery stores are very traditional. And they do not cater to Westerners here, which is fine. I love it. They shouldn't.
I listen. I love it when it's not catered to me. It makes me have to step out my box a little bit more.
Right.
Um,
Right.
but you've done a lot, like so a lot. I mean, it's not just with travel, but you've had a full experience being gone. You've been to the doctor a few times. You've been,
Yeah.
unfortunately, but emergency and just regular checkup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've traveled back to this side of the world since you've been gone. You're building community because I think the main question, not think, I know questions that I got were could be a little bit different since I was coming back for a year. I was only traveling for a year, but long term, I do plan to relocate outside the US. And it's like, yeah, everything is cheap, but kind of like the question is, what's the trade off? It's like, nothing. I mean, I can build community there. I can go to the doctor there. You know what I mean? I building community means friends, and I've kept in touch with my friends here. I'm like, if I want to come back and visit, but just having that open mind of everything that you, for the most part, everything you can do in the U.S., you can do other places. If this conversation just to open your mind, point some ideas out, hear her story, but also it's very expensive to retire in the U.S. And a lot of people, I know when I retire, Social Security is not going to be on the table. So it's
You know
like,
what?
how are you
Yeah.
going to afford it? Go ahead.
Yeah. I am not coming back to the US in terms of living.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can have everything I need here. I can't afford at this point when you come over here and you know better and you experience better, you realize I can't afford America at this point. I can't afford it. I got my health care and I told my friends, don't worry about me. Health care, I'm A-okay because I'm in a country with top rated up top five for medical tourism. And it's affordable. I paid out of the pocket for my annual exam and my annual and doctor visits for my emergency visit because I could afford it. Even in Mexico, when I had sun poisoning, I just paid out of $20 out of pocket. But the thing is, a lot of people healthcare keep us stranded in the US. It keep us stranded in our jobs because it's so expensive and you can't afford it. I have travel insurance, and that travel insurance is for the purpose of if something happened, I can file a claim, but also if something happened, I need to go back home, I can get back home for whatever reason and emergency cases. And you can but I can afford it out the pocket, so I don't need to file a claim. Where can you get a mammogram and a sonogram for less than included with everything for less than $500 in
No,
the states? You
yeah,
can't.
because I've been
So,
to, I had to go to the ER when I was in Thailand, and a doctor and medicine, all of that for both ER visit, regular clinic visit. I paid $150, and that was with getting the
yeah,
ultrasound and all of that. So it's a total different world.
it
When
is.
you,
And let me say something else on the commute when you far away. Yes, I miss my friends, but that's why I got the internet, and also it you're going to have some trade-offs whatever it may be, but if you can find a place where, and I think this is where community becomes important. If you can find a place where you have a community, you'll adjust to everything else because you're not going to have everything you want. But if you think about it, community, what I do, hang out with my friend at a certain age, honey. At my age, at a certain age, you ain't hanging over everybody's house every week. because they
Right.
married, they got kids, they got grandkids, or they in their own little world. So you don't do that like you do in your 20s.
Mhm.
So your lifestyle changes, and they can come visit me. I'm open, but if you build, and it doesn't have, and when I say community, it doesn't have to be a lot of people. It just can be a little core where you enjoy the person at the store. They know me. Hey, how you doing? And the guy at the grocery store in Malaysia, he said, you always smiling. You from DC, right? I said, yes. So they know you, and just building a base with meeting other Malaysians who are showing me the lifestyle and local. Even here, the young ladies that are my little besties, they're way younger than me, but they want to show me their culture. They want to be my, and they won't take a tip. They won't take a tip. She said, you're my friend. I'm like, no, no. She's like, you're my friend. And I want to show you my culture. I want to show you. So next time you come back, we go show you even more. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's that hospitality that even though, and I met some beautiful African American women here, some Black women here, and we've been hanging out.
Hmm.
So I don't, and I'm old now. Look, I'm grown. I don't need a bunch of friends, honey. I got, I got you. I talk to you to keep, because we share that same experience.
Yeah.
And you got to have somebody also who you share an experience with, because my other friends, they haven't lived this life. So I can't expect them to understand or know from this perspective what I'm dealing with and
Exactly.
stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to put that burden on them and be disappointed that they can't tell me, they can't respond a certain way, because they just don't know. But you, having lived, you were out here before me, and other people that I'm connected with, or coming out here, or we on that same path. We share something with each other that it's relatable, and that we could discuss
Yeah.
with the
No, that's
understanding. Mhm.
exactly. And the part that you said about not creating that burden because they don't understand, right? So stuff
Yeah.
that we deal with traveling, this happened. And we just gotta work through it and figure it out. While to somebody else to be like, "Oh my God, you should just come back home. If it's that bad, just come here." And it's like, I don't want to hear that. That's not what
Right. No, because they ain't have. Yeah, right. And your closest friends still might not understand your perspective of what you're doing. And that's okay, because it's not for you to understand, baby. Just be happy and text me and whatever. You ain't gotta understand it. Would you live out a suitcase?
right.
Yes, and I'm good with that. Shit, I was living out a closet.
Like it's been working for a year. So before we
Yeah.
wrap up, what has been your favorite part about solo travel?
That, oh, it's on my time. I'm doing what I want to do. I don't have to deal with indecisiveness. I don't have to deal with other people's opinion of what they want to do, what we want to eat. It's me. I mean, now that could be on the flip side. It's an exhausting process when you're moving from place to place, more so the coordinating, because you got to do the research. You got to make sure you ain't end up in a dump. And we do all that. I don't have anybody to put that off on. So that is an exhausting process. That will be the challenges of it. And to be out here, you got to be comfortable with yourself. I don't need people around me to have a good time, even though I enjoy people. I'm okay doing things by myself. I've always been that way. I'm my mom's only child.
Okay.
So, but I have a sister, but I'm my mom's only child. But so I've always been comfortable just being with myself. And I moved to DC by myself, so I when I moved there, I had to do things by myself, go to the movies, eat dinner. So that stuff is now for me second nature. It's just what I do. And I love the freedom. And that's what money has brought me in terms of time.
Hmm.
I have freedom to do what I want. If I want to sleep all day, I don't want to hear your mouth. All you want to do is sleep. You sure right. Ooh, on vacation. I'm not on vacation. I'm living. If I want to
Right.
sleep all day, I sleep all day. Right? Don't and
Yes.
ooh, yeah. Or I'm not going out. You not catching me outside before 1 o'clock. I ain't happening. Not happening. If I meet you, we got to meet up, something like that. But that's my life. I live it the way I want. I don't have to answer to anybody in regards to decisions. So I
That
love it.
I agree. That was my favorite part about solo travel. I think now being have traveled a year by myself, it's gonna be really hard it to travel with other people because I'm like I'm used to doing what I want when I want, like not like you said, where we eating, what we doing. It's like
And then my love, I be like, yeah. Even with my love, people I love, I still be like,
I know, so I get it.
ugh. I still be
So
like, what you want to do? So, and then I love where I don't have to do nothing, but I still have a good time. Man, you could sit and just be sitting and still have a good time, still kick it. We went to that what is it, Muay Thai?
that
After
boxing, I'm
this,
about that the day MMA type fighting thing. That
Muay
boxing.
Thai, yeah, Muay Thai or something. And we sit up there sweating up. Tasha like, you ready? I'm like, yeah, I'm ready.
I was like, it's hot up in here. We done seen plenty of people get knocked out. I'm like,
So,
okay.
but so that's cool because we can come together, and we came together, after you did your work and then things like that. So, yeah, but I don't like all that back and forth with people.
One final question. We're about to hop off, so if you do got a couple more as we're answering this, you can drop them in. Again,
Somebody said,
replay gang. If you're watching this, make sure you leave comments and you hit the video. I mean, like button on the video. And if you're not subscribed, considering subscribing because my channel is all about providing personal finance tips and travel information like we're doing right now. Employment outside the US, easy or hard. So
I don't, I don't work, so I can't answer. I know there's stipulations on countries and employment. You can look, I can always teach because I enjoy doing that. And I've been doing that for over 5 or 6 years. I teach English online when I feel like it. So that's always an outlet for people who are um, coming and need some work. But countries have rules where you can't be employed in unless you're with a US company or something. I'm not employed by a US company, so my YouTube channel is my full-time job.
there you have it. And I would say also too, when I plan to relocate, I don't plan to work a traditional job. Just in general, some people are quote unquote digital nomads, so they have a remote job that they had before they moved around. I would say it's going to be extremely difficult to go to another country and get a job there. If you think about it in reverse, same thing when foreigners come to the US, it's hard for them to get a job, got to get sponsorship, all that type of stuff. It applies when you leave out. It probably would be a little bit easier for an American to get a job versus when a person comes to the US trying to get a job. But the point of Shawn sharing her story is it's so affordable. Like I would just throw a number out just from my calculations in Thailand. Like you could live a very good, comfortable life off $20,000 a year. That's
I was going
including
to say $20,000.
year
20,000. You can live now. You can live off of $20,000. Definitely in Thailand, for sure in Vietnam, and also in Malaysia. You can live off of $20,000 for the year.
for the year. This includes your groceries. This includes when you going to the
Yeah, it
spa.
includes it.
Yeah, going to the spa, going to the restaurants, all of that.
Restaurant,
And if you want to come back to the US a couple times a year, just round it up to $25,000. Like,
right,
you know what I
right.
mean? So
Yeah,
it won't
that's accurate.
when Sean keeps saying affordable, it's that type of thing. So if you're talking about retirement and you're planning, okay, $25,000 a year, you know, think about what you are projected to get for Social Security. If you are lucky to have a pension or what you're pulling from 401k, because at that retirement time, it's like this is all you have coming in
Mhm.
is those type of checks, unless you're going to continue to work and get a part-time job, which is
Yeah.
why a lot of people are opting to retire outside the US because you can live a great life for $20,000 a year. So that's just food for thought.
Right. That's accurate because I was looking at that last night. That's accurate. $20,000, 25. Okay, for other, like you say, it costs you from here $1,000 to travel back to the States. So calculate that, but you definitely can live a nice quality lifestyle, not struggling. And listen to this. I never have. Even when my contract, I don't skimp on anything. That's just always been my lifestyle. If I want something, I'm getting. But honey, to pay for $8 massages, and then over here, girl, did you see I got that whole facial? I mean, hair wash, mask, facial, fresh cucumbers, haircut for $6.14. Child, y'all can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me. I'm living a life. I'm living a
Just
life.
rub it in. I miss my massages and my facials,
Oh my God,
my
$8
braids done
massage,
and Kenya and all that.
girl.
Just around the world, just being more affordable. I miss it.
Girl, and I was so mad. Check this out. I got a facial last week. Um, it was like $20. I mean, they did the chrono and everything with the machines and everything. And I was in Malaysia, so a Thai massage, and I needed it because the beds around, now here's the thing, the beds around Southeast Asia, them gonna be hard. So I look at the quality of beds and places I stay to determine, okay, if I'm gonna stay here again. But girl, when I had to pay, now this was a full body massage and everything, and she put her foot in it. Literally, she put her foot in my back. The
I
When I
know.
had to pay $40, I was mad. I was mad, even though that's affordable for the state. When girl, $40, what? $40. I was so upset. I was like, I gotta go back to Thailand. I
Listen,
gotta go back to Thailand, Vietnam, because I can't take these $40 prices.
listen. The prices is one main attraction, but I don't want to just if you hopping in and out. We're not just leading with the money. Remember, Sean talked about the community. The people that live in the countries are welcoming. It's not just go here live for cheap. It's a full life experience. So for $20,000 a year, we're talking about improving the quality of your life, not just saying, oh, it's cheap.
And add in there my healthcare costs
Yeah.
out of pocket. So that 25, yeah, that 25,000 is legit. You can live for a year off of 25,000 and live not comfortably.
Yeah.
And if you want to live higher, so be it. And mind you, every place I've stayed at in Malaysia, and then they got a pool, they got a gym, and
Mhm.
they they got a store downstairs. It's luxury, and you have all that amenities right there. So you're not paying extra for the gym. I'm not paying extra for a swimming pool and the facilities. I pay that one price for everything there.
Yeah, so you have to check out Queen of DC's YouTube
Yes.
channel for all the vlogs, all this information she's talking about right here on the live. It's on her channel. So if you want to see the luxurious buildings and all of that, it's on her channel.
Yeah, I give a day to day of and share my life and just showing people that if you want it, you come get it. You can get it. And I didn't do anything. And I always tell people I didn't do anything extravagant. Just had a plan. And I talk about that on one of my video how I sold my things and traveled the world. I just had a 6-step plan, put it into action, and that was that. And I'm out. That was that.
Thank you, Janella. That was the my hope that it'll be, someone stumbles across this on YouTube. It's helpful for them to hear exact numbers. Like maybe now people who watching may have a little idea to not just, even if you're not talking about permanently moving, just split your time outside of
Hmm.
the US. Maybe that can start changing your mindset there. If not, thank you for watching just anyway. Any final words before we hop off, Sean?
Sure. Well, thank you for having me. Thank you to the audience for your support and your questions. And uh, yeah, thank you for the opportunity. And follow me on Queen of DC YouTube channel. Feel free to ask me any questions. I have a lot of information out there because if it's what you want, you can make it happen. And we're here. That's why we're here. And we have this channel to help you through the process. So I appreciate you, Tasha, as a friend. And as someone whose information and resources I look to as well.
Thank
And Yeah, thank you for that opportunity to be here to talk with you.
And I want to thank you for coming on because you had to get up in the morning and I'm here chilling at night.
Girl,
So
you know, and I don't like to get up in the morning. Or, you know, I go eat my breakfast and I come back and I chill out. But I
so
had to be dressed.
So thank you again for joining. Again, make sure you hit that like button on the way out and show me some more love in the comments. Until next time, bye.
Peace. Bye bye.